Oh, I think we're live. Are we live? Okay, we live? Looks like we're live. Yep. Okay, I think we are good. Hello, everybody. How are we doing? Sign into chat. Really? How do I cancel this? Can I just hit refresh? Nope. What the heck? Well, apparently it didn't auto sign into my chat. So I can't shoot messages. Give me a second, everyone. Alright. How's everyone doing, though? Let's see. There we go. Ooh, am I logging in? I'm logging into the wrong one. That's a mistake. What if I do this? What if I close chat, view, reopen chat? Hey Dennis. That works. I just will not talk in chat, I guess. I'll have to switch. How's it going? Alright. Looks like we are all set. All is working fine. Yeah, my chat wasn't. I guess I just can't talk through OBS. I'll have to switch over if I need to type something. Shouldn't really have to type anything. So, hello everyone. I figured I would hang out and talk while I make Mead. Stream Elements bot is apparently working. Hey! There we go. Alright, I have to use the laptop today. And apparently it wants to work. So yeah, so today we will hang out. People can ask questions, chat. We'll just have some fun while I go ahead and make my Mead. I've made Mead a couple times before. First time I made a 3-gallon batch. The second time, or sorry, no, the first time I made a 5-gallon batch, then I made a 4-gallon batch. Today we're only going to make a gallon batch because I don't need to make that much. It took me forever. I think between both those batches I had like 27 bottles, like wine bottles. It took me years. I think 2 to 3 years to get rid of it all. So yeah, I'm only making a gallon this time, and also it takes up a lot less space. So we're going to have some fun making Mead while we hang out. Starting off, music's a bit loud, you think? I'm showing 35 decibels. Let me... What if I do... How about that? That better? Well, the song stopped, so we can't even tell. Luckily, that's the only desktop audio, so it's fine for gaming. Yeah, and also with this microphone, I don't know where the levels are. Because it's going to also depend how far away I am, so... Let me drop it down to about -40. Wow, I can't really see where it's at. Is that better? Alright, hopefully that's better. Alright, so today, like I said, I'll be making mead. I am making what is called a cicer. It's a particular type of mead. The premise behind it is that it uses either like apple juice or like an apple cider as the liquid base compared to just like water and honey. We're also going to season it with some like allspice, nutmeg, and cinnamon to make it almost like a spiced, almost like an apple pie flavor. For those who don't know, mead's a honey-based alcohol. So it's in essence wine. Instead of grapes, you use honey as your sugar for your yeast to create the alcohol. So we're going to be using, like I said, apple juice. This is just simple Kroger brand apple juice, and I've got some Lavalin EC 1118 yeast. The big thing about this yeast is it goes up to 18% ABV, so pretty high. So up to about 18% alcohol before the yeast hibernates, because it can no longer survive. It doesn't die off, it just hibernates and sinks to the bottom. So we're going to see if we can push it to 18%. Trying to think, if anyone wants to make this type of mead, your apple juice or apple cider that you use, make sure it does not have potassium sorbate in it. That is a preservative that they typically add, and it also acts as an inhibitor for yeast, stopping it from fermenting. So you'll see a lot of like natural ciders that you get, or even some apple juices will include potassium sorbate to preserve it. So if you want to make some, make sure it doesn't have potassium sorbate in it, so that way your yeast doesn't die off and not work. So getting started, I need to sanitize. So I've got a giant thing of sanitizer that I'm going to, I've sanitized a lot of this, but I'm going to rub down areas that I've been touching and get that going. I also need to sanitize my pan I have over here, because we need to start off by creating our base. So like I said, we're going to do apple juice with seasoning. So I need to actually start imparting the seasoning into my apple juice. So I need to take one of these and put it into my pot, and then we're going to infuse our seasoning and put our cinnamon and all that into this juice. Come on. All right. So let's switch you over. All right, I need to find my... Now the kitchen explodes, yes. I need to find my teaspoon. Here it is. All right, so we're gonna need to get this. We need to simmer this. We do not want to go above a simmer, because if we go above a simmer and start boiling it, it'll actually ruin the honey when we add it. So we need to make sure that we only bring it up to a simmer. So I'm going to add some allspice. How's it going, Lord Deadside? Some nutmeg. We're adding a couple teaspoons of each. then I've got some cinnamon sticks. So we're gonna add, let's see, we're gonna add probably 4 cinnamon sticks to this, and then we will add this entire jar at the end. We're gonna add 4 in here to infuse the apple juice, and then we'll have 3 that we'll add into the container. So I just went ahead and added that to my carboy to start out. All right. I'll go ahead and start getting this mixed up.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. So let's get it. You ready? Hey, so I've been out here for a minute, got me grown out. Always moving around, feel like a stranger in my hometown. You ain't really about it unless you really been around it. I've been looking for my moment, now I think I finally found it.
All right.
Well, things ain't go according to plan, so now I show the world.
So we're gonna let that start to infuse. So while that's infusing, I need to start prepping some of our additives. So one of the things I need to do is get the yeast activating, and I also need to get my nutrients and energizers worked out. So what's everyone up to? Everuro. 92 cars so far in FH5? That seems like a lot. How long have you been playing for? How long has it been out that you've been playing for it? Alright, we need that infusing. I also have honey that we need to work on. We're going to get our container ready.
In a few months, I'm going back to basics like a crew cut, feeling used up, but now I'm grooved, done grinding till
Alright, hopefully my honey is 2 days. 92 cars in 2 days, that seems like a lot. That seems like a lot of cars. How are we doing?
I know life is great and I just needed to remind myself. Yeah, I remember that the flower don't stay in bloom all year long. So one bad day don't make
it has 500-ish cars. So you're almost a fifth of the way through already in like 2 days. Okay. I'm assuming though that there's various values, so I'm assuming you have a lot of the cheaper cars, or at least, I don't know, you could have a variety, I guess, by now. Alright. Get that ready. Pour everything into. Alright, it's probably going to take a while for us to get this infused. So what I need to do is probably heat up some water and then get the temperature down on that. So I'm going to actually turn on our microwave. Hopefully that doesn't mess with anything. Cheap cars, the nerve. I would imagine if you've gotten a fifth of the cars already that you're buying the cheap cars, because then you can get them quick. But maybe not. Get the I was debating trying to figure out how to heat up this water, because I want to get the activation water up to about 95 degrees Fahrenheit. But I also want to use distilled water, so microwave is the best I came up with to get it up to temperature. So I'll probably end up overshooting the 95 and then having to let it come down and then activate the yeast into it. Got most of the cheap cars. How many more cheap cars do you have an option for? I am right, okay. It just seemed like the simplest. What's everyone else up to? Has anyone checked out Lost Ark? I actually got the beta key, got it installed, but I haven't touched it yet. The roommate played it a little bit. It looks interesting. Korean MMO classes and stuff seem interesting. I have not touched it yet though. I will probably mess with it tonight. Maybe I'll do a like a first playthrough, check it out video for Unfit Nation. Made two characters, good mix of Diablo and MMO. Yeah, it looked very Diablo 2 camera angle, but I don't know about the rest. Oh, that's definitely hot. That is smoking. All right. So I need to stir this water up, and we need to check the temp on it. I'm certain this is overshooting because I do not want to stick my hand in there. Like I said, we want to be about 95. Yeah, turn the probe on. Let's see. It's climbing. It's climbing. What type of characters did you try? 72. This thing's smoking. There's no way it's only 72. This has to be a lot higher than that. Look at the steam coming off it. Water vaporizes at a lot higher than 77. There we go, 79. This thing's being... Maybe it's just because I don't have enough of the probe in there. This doesn't seem right. Trixian or Gladys server. Didn't try the game, just made two characters because you like to make characters. Makes sense. This is still climbing. He doesn't play the MMOs, he plays character creation. That sounds about right. And some MMOs are better for that than others. Alright, I'm definitely above. Right now it's sitting at 97, 99. Okay, I kind of want to be in the 90-95 range, so I am a little high. 100. That is way too hot. Okay, so I'm going to take this, set it over here. I want to see that get down to about 95, and then I will stick yeast in it. Light and dark. Oh, that's the other one you showed me. Yeah. Man, I got AoE 4 to mess with, Light and Dark I got to check out, and I've got Lost Ark to check out. I am going to turn this up to get it started heating up quicker. Then I'll pull the heat down on it. But you can tell that is definitely infusing flavor. So once this drops in temp, like I said, I can pitch my yeast in it and get my yeast activating. You and Michael's saving food. You're so close. You should have plenty of time though. You still have this month at least, probably all of next month, to get your extra like 80 pounds. Okay, according to this, I'm about right. It says I'm at 93. Still feels a little warm. But it's pretty close. It's nowhere close to where yeast can't function. That's like 120 or something like that. Pretty high. You want lukewarm is what most people refer to it as, comfortable for your hands. And that's a little warm for my hands. So we got that warming up, we got this. For the most part, we just need to get that infused, get that poured into, well, get the honey added to it, stir it up, pour it into our vessel. We then have to take a reading to see what our sugar content is, to find out how much there is for the yeast to eat. So has anyone else tried fermenting a beverage, whether that's alcoholic or not? Or just have any of you done fermentation at home, even like food? Did beer on stream too? Nice. That must have been a lot of fun. I didn't see that one. Do you know what kind he made? Was it like a Pilsner, Lager, Stout? Oh, that's good. That's more than enough. Okay, so I need to pitch our yeast. So this packet does 1 to 5 imperial gallons, 1 to 6 US gallons. I only need a gallon, so I have to make a choice. Do I technically just pitch it all, in which case it will speed up my process, or do I do like half of it? I think what we're going to do is we're going to do like half of it. Because if you add too much yeast, it'll actually speed up the process, which is nice, but if you speed it up too quickly, it will create an unhospitable environment because it'll burn through the sugar so quickly that it creates a hot batch. So your alcohol becomes very harsh, and it takes longer to age it out. Can't remember. And you're old, yeah. So we'll get these guys activated and going. I do have nutrients and energizer. This will speed up the process. It'll give them a more hospitable environment. Gives them food and makes the liquid more nutrient-rich for them. Do ferment pineapple alcohol or in high school. Great flavor and so much alcohol percentage. The nice part is if you make a sweet beverage, which is what I'm going to shoot for, I'm going to try to make this somewhat sweet, which is primarily in the second ferment. I have to add more sugar. That will... Ooh. Decent amount of this yeast is falling. I might need to add a little bit of sugar to this. Let's do that by adding a bit of our honey. Give them something to chew on. Pineapple. So what? How do you do the pineapple alcohol? What was the base for it? Like, did you just straight up use pineapples as the sugar, or like grapes and added pineapple? There we go. That's foaming up a little. They're waking up. All right. I don't know if you remember, since that was a while ago. Alright, this is definitely getting ready to simmer away. We got some flavors infusing. Switch this so you guys can see where we're at. So you can see we've got a good amount of the seasoning starting to blend in. We're at about 133, so we got a good temp on it. Turn that down a little bit. Oh, I can smell the yeast waking up. Nice, that's good. All right, so we got that going. We got the yeast waking up. Ooh yeah, they're bubbling away now. Awesome. So the nutrients and energizers, I got a choice. Do I add it to the pitched yeast, or do I wait and add it to the full container? And I think I'm going to wait and add it to the full container. Looks like I need about a half teaspoon of nutrients and a quarter teaspoon of energizer. I'm using a staged process, so your nutrients and energizer that makes the environment hospitable for the yeast. What I'm going to do is actually put half of the amount I need in it today. That'll give them a little kickstart, and then tomorrow I will burp it. So shake it up a bit, get rid of some of the CO2 in it, and then add more energizer and nutrients to kind of give them another kickstart. So keep it hospitable. If I put all of it in at the same time, you run into that same issue of it could kick off too quickly, and they eat up too quickly, and then you produce hot alcohol. Star anise is a good one. Cloves. Oh, cloves! I'm going to add some cloves. Thank you for that. That goes great with nutmeg and all that. I do have star anise. I don't want to deal with that when it comes to this giant fermentation. I don't want to have to add it to the infusion and then remove them. Cinnamon, pineapple chunks. Some days they start to ferment for the elevated sugar. It took about 2 weeks to get basic. Okay, so you're using pineapple as the sugar content. All right. Colombian restaurants. Interesting. Colombian. That's it. I don't know if I've had Colombian food. I don't quite know what Colombian food is. Like what they specialize in. To the pineapple chunks. Okay. That's interesting that I don't know what straight pineapple alcohol is called. Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know what that would be considered. Alright, so see, I gotta check what temperature our alcohol is. I think the infusion is pretty much good enough to go. So what we'll do is we'll siphon some of this out into our container, and then from there I'm going to add the honey to here, get it all blended together, dissolved, add it to our container, top it up with more apple juice, and then I actually have to steal fluid out to check our sugar content. Cool, we're at 118, that's not bad. Alright. So I'm going to get my ladle sanitized. I'm going to steal some of this fluid out. Stop it, I don't need the cinnamon sticks. Oh, I made a mess. You know, the siphon would potentially be better, but this is so hot I don't want to use my siphon. Alright, I think that's enough. I made a bit of a mess. Alright, now we need to get all of our honey in here. So I have it in a pot over here with warm water, because warm honey pours better. Look at all that honey. So for 1 gallon, I'm doing 2.5 pounds of honey. So usually, for like a sweet mead, which is what I'm going for, you try to do 3+ pounds. But since I'm using apple juice, then I already have a good amount of added sugar. So what I'm going to do real quick is actually steal a little bit of this. Make a mess. Try to get this all dissolved in. So I'm going to turn the heat off. So this is why you want to simmer it. If you get to a boil and you add your honey, it'll actually start to break down some of the honey, and it can add some really like unpleasant bitter notes. So that was 2 pounds. So now I need to add, this is a 1 pound container, so I gotta add half of this. And what I'm gonna do is actually use the other half of this to sweeten the second ferment. So I'll add more sugar in the second ferment after the yeast have done a lot of the breaking down and potentially pushed it up to close to the 18%. And then that means hopefully in the second ferment, we'll start eating away again, and there'll be leftover sugar that then will sweeten the mead. All right. So I think this is pretty well dissolved and mixed. So we're going to give it a little bit of time to hopefully cool down a bit. Yeah, when you get a patch on a Saturday, you're definitely getting close. That's for sure. So this is still pretty warm. So I don't know if I feel safe siphoning it. We'll see. Nice part about siphoning is it also thins out the liquid, and it'll help it cool a little bit. Aries Iron Can, oh yeah. All right. So we're getting there. So what else do we have to look forward to in 315 again? Oh yeah, our yeast is foaming up really nice. Super exciting. This is still pretty warm, which kind of worries me a bit. So we're going to set up our siphon. Medical. Ooh. Try not to splash sanitizer everywhere. Ooh, my hose might not be the right size. Suitable armor and weapon. Nice, nice, nice. It's a very tight fit on this hose. Which is good. See, what might help is if I put some sanitizer on here. Might help lubricate it a bit. All right. Okay, that should clean it out. Alrighty then. That should be completely sanitized. Alrighty. So we're going to go ahead and get this siphoned over. Actually, I could probably set this on the floor. And the siphon will just run itself. That is until it gets too low. Siphon, siphon, siphon. All right, good enough. Alrighty. You need to sleep. It's 4 a.m. and this is the last day of your semester break. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi. Alright, so we got a good portion transferred over. Now what I need to do is get our funnel back out and transfer what's left. So one of the things I need to do is get my cinnamon sticks out. Add those in. Alright, get all our seasoning scooped up. We want all that seasoning, that lovely goodness. Alright, what I'm actually going to do is move this over the sink, because I don't want to make a mess again. How do we know from Discord?
Silence fills this empty space, and I can't get out the stain you left on everything. Yeah, you're all over me.
All right. So with all that honey, you can see we're only up to here. So the nice part is we can cool this down by adding the rest of our apple juice. So that should hopefully cool us down enough. So what's everyone up to right now? What's everyone doing? Okay, we do want to leave a bit of headspace. We got it up about where it almost curves the whole way up. Alright, so now what we have to do is we want to mix this up a bit. Feels like it's cooled down a bit, but we're still playing a lot of BlueStacks. What are you playing with BlueStacks? It's our 10. I'm going to see if it's within a comfortable range for our yeast. Lord of the Rings? Nice. So far we're at 95, 97. $100. It's actually holding it at 100. That's not bad. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to sanitize our TSMMO. Oh, that's cool. Cover this and shake it a bit. Hopefully we mixed in all that apple juice we added. And now we need our thief. So for those who don't know, a thief lets you steal liquid. Out of a container. So problem is this might take a while if we use the thief. What I might do is actually get out the siphon again. So what we need to do is get enough fluid in here for us to check our sugar levels. Turn auto battle? Okay. So we got this sanitized. Yeah, I might actually use this again. So what we'll do real quick is sanitize it. Clean it out again with some sanitizer. Making a mess with sanitizer. Luckily it's sanitizer. It's not that big a deal. Alright. So we need to steal enough to float our check. Ooh, I'm making a mess. This thing can sometimes be a bit of a pain. Here's the fun part. Let's clean this up. Alright, so here is our sample. So here's a bunch of our liquid. Now what we're going to do is take this, which is a hydrometer. What it does is it floats. And it's got a bunch of markings on it. These markings tell you, through math, how much sugar content is in something, based off how it floats. So I drop it in. So I'm floating. At about 1.121. Now what I'm going to do is stick the probe in here, because I need to check the temperature of my liquid. Now that's 1.21 at 70, okay. 90. So we need to check what that is at a certain temperature. So we gotta wait for this to settle. Record this. Da, 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 da. Write this down real quick. So we're at closer to 1.2 at 99. So I'll do the math later to find out what our specific gravity is, find out what our potential ABV is. But I just need to have that recorded for now. Alright. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pitch our yeast, which is all nice and foamy. I don't know if that's going to focus. Come on, focus. Focus. There we go, so you can see it's very foamy, which is great. So we're going to add our energizers. This is the half teaspoon, which I need for my nutrients. We're going to add our nutrient in, and then we're going to add our energizer, and then we'll add our yeast, and then top it back up with what we stole for checking. Oh, come on. Open up. This does not want to open. I cannot find the split. It's almost like it re-taped itself. Whatever adhesive was on here just like re-stuck. Slip. Slip. It does not want me to open it. Ugh. You know what? Fine. We'll cut it further down and see if that helps. Scissors. I need it to be resealable though. There we go. Cutting it down did help. Alright. So we're going to take our half of our nutrient, pour that in. And I believe we need a quarter of our energizer. Right, half for a full batch, yep, so quarter since we're doing half and half. Add that in. add our yeast. We'll kind of wash it down using Alright, so we do have... we could probably add it. No, let's... We want to make sure we have enough headspace. No, that's good. Alright, now we need our bung, our stopper. Stick this on. Cover up the hole and give her a shake. Get it all mixed in. Get our bung in. Now we need our valve to seal it all up. So for the valve, what we want to do real quick is actually we need to add some sanitizer to it. So this sanitizer I've been using and putting stuff in. So I'm going to actually quickly build up a new batch. So we've got some distilled water and then our sanitizer. So this stuff's usually pretty harsh and strong. So we do want it to be pretty strong for this purpose because this is going to act as our protection. This is going to prevent bad stuff from getting into our brew. So we want it to be fairly strong. So mix it up. Now we get our valve back out. So we're using a 3-piece valve to start with because this is better at allowing lots of gas to escape. So we got our sanitizer in there. Seal her up. All right. And that's it. So I gotta let this sit for a day. Then I'm gonna open it up, burp it a bit, give it a bit of a stir to let out any gas buildup that happens. So any CO2 buildup, which there will be CO2 buildup because yeast poops out CO2 and alcohol. And then I'll add in the second batch of nutrients and energizers to give it another little healthy kick. And then I will let it sit for probably 2 to 3 weeks, however long it takes for it to ferment. Then I will transfer it to another vessel to let some of the yeast out. And then I will add a bit more honey and then let it sit in that for probably at least a month or two. by the end of that, I should have mead. Technically, after the first ferment, it's mead, but it'll be kind of harsh and not very delicious. So you want to let it sit. That second ferment will sweeten it up and calm it down, so that way it tastes a lot better. So yeah, should be hopefully pretty good. Alright, let me... Probably gonna have to keep pushing this down a bit because it's wet inside, so it's actually pushing up this stopper. Till it dries, I might have to keep pushing it back down. Alright. When do we add the blood of virgins and English monks? You do it at the end, that's a finisher. That's how you make it taste really good at the very end. Alright, let me get a lot of this out of the way. Let's see. That's about it in here. This needs thrown away. Alright. Keeping it fresh. Yeah, you don't want to ruin it by like cooking it out or fermenting it out. You want that nice and fresh. Alright, let me push this off to the side. Trying to get some of this stuff out of our way. Turn this off. I'll need this stuff tomorrow. Alrighty then. Let's see. Does anyone have questions or anything we want to talk about for a bit before I wrap this up? Like I said, I don't know if anyone else has experimented with fermentation, or I mean, if anyone has questions about Conqueror's Blade 2, just questions in general.
I never meant to hurt you. I didn't really mean the words I said. If I could take it all back,
I hope that seal holds.
I swear I'd never do it
This is not actually quite the right size bung for this.
again. 'Cause I need you by my side and I need you in my life.
Hopefully it starts bubbling tomorrow.
And if you hear this song, just know that I'll never find a better one. And everything was done out of love. So even when I'm gone, you're
Gray hairs fight better or worse after drinking this?
a shine down California.
I think it depends how much you drink. The last time I made, so the first batch I ever made was a sicer like this one. It was slightly different. I made it, like I said, in a 5-gallon batch, so big 5-gallon pail. I added way more seasoning this time around. Actually, this is about as much seasoning as I added to the entire 5-gallon batch that last time, with the exception of cinnamon. I had way more cinnamon. Per ratio, this is way more than last time. And I remember I handed one of those bottles off to a friend, I did the math, and I think it was like 8% ABV. It was around 8%. Um, so I gave a bunch of bottles away, and one of my friends messaged me back and was like, "Oh man, how strong is this?" Because like they barely drank any, and they could feel it. Like they were well buzzed after just a bit of drink. I told him 8%. He's like, "There's no way." I mean, most of your meads are in the. I mean, 8% is low for a mead. Most of them are in the 14% range, somewhere around there, 14, 15. About the highest they get is around 18. You can technically kickstart in the second fermentation and get up close to 20. Um, so, I mean, after drinking this, the sugar content in it makes it hit you a lot harder, which is back to his thing of it was 8%, but due to the sugar, your metabolism absorbs the alcohol quicker because the sugar kickstarts your metabolism. So it makes you get buzzed and drunk faster than you would expect. So they probably fight worse. Unless they have a tolerance for it. They are gray hairs. They've been around the block for a long time. They might have a high tolerance. So maybe they would drink or fight better. Obviously, in the old days, people used to drink alcohol way more often because it was one of the safest things to drink. I'm sure their tolerances were probably on average better back then. So I feel like people's tolerances nowadays are not very good unless they're alcoholics or just luck of the draw on their genetics. At least I should say in the US. I don't know. I feel like Europe's still a bit more accepting of alcohol than we are. No, but it's a fun little project people can do at home. Making stuff like mead, wine. Mead and wine are pretty easy. When you get into beer, you have to do worts. It's a lot more work. I think a lot more work. For the most part, all I technically had to do was pour it all in the bottle, and I would have been done. The warming up of the apple juice was mainly just to infuse the seasoning. Technically, I wouldn't have had to do that. The ferment probably would have infused it an okay amount, but by warming it up, I got a way better infusion of the flavors. And then also it makes it a lot easier to dissolve the honey if the liquid is warm. You just have to be careful that it gets cool enough before you add your yeast, because if it's too hot, your yeast will go dormant, and that'll push back your ferment by quite a bit. Start drinking home before going out, just a bottle or half a vodka or something. Yeah, just a handle, you know, or half a handle of liquor as a pregame before going out. I don't go out too often. Even in college, I mainly drank in, so our pregame was just part of drinking. But I had a roommate in college who was from, I think he was from Norway. And his pregame before going out was a 12-pack of Heineken. So he would drink a 12-pack of Heineken and then go out. 17, 19 years old, yeah. Back when it was easier, back when it was not as big of a deal. You didn't have to concern yourself as much about hydration, so you didn't have a horrible, horrible hangover. Oh, I'm gonna have to mop the floor, it's a bit sticky. Drink so much that you never drink anymore. I still drink here and there. I try just not to go too excessive. So sometimes that doesn't happen, and I do, but I definitely used to drink a lot more when I was younger. It is still sliding up a good bit. wonder if I can use a wire or something to kind of hold that in. Or just get a properly sized one. It still looks like it's sealed, so as long as it maintains its seal, I'll be fine. Alright, well, if there's not much more question-wise or anything, I'll probably wrap this up. Just figured it'd be fun to chat while I make mead. See if anyone had questions or just wanted to chill. So, I don't know, we'll see if I leave this up as a vlog. It kind of depends how much viewing there is of it. I make a blind lost art character. Nice. I'll have to clean up quite a bit, and then maybe I'll jump on and check out the game afterwards. So it does look like fun. See what the stuff is. Send a Discord pic. Okay. A blind lost art character. So is that random? Is that what you're getting at? Oh, literally you can make them blind. Like white eyes. That's cool. That is pretty cool. I also have to record all the recipe information from this. So I gotta make sure I do that too. Alright, well we're just gonna wrap it up then, I guess. So thank you everyone for hanging out with me. And let me know if you like this kind of thing. Every once in a while maybe we'll just do a random stream where everyone can hang out, ask questions, etc. on the channel. And then if you want to see something else, let me know. But this just seemed like a little fun project to do. So with that, let's see. On Unfit Nation we'll have a stream. I think next Wednesday we might try something interesting for New World. And then obviously we'll be playing Conqueror's Blade next Friday on Unfit Nation. And then another video will be out. Also let me know, people, what kind of videos do you want on the channel? Certain unit you want me to cover, certain topic you want me to cover, let me know. Makes it easier. And then I think for the podcast, this next week we won't have an episode. I think the week after will be the next episode, which is Tsukimichi Moonlight Fantasy, if I remember right. So thank you everyone for coming out. I really appreciate it. Please have a great day / night, depending on which part of the world you're in. Please stay safe and healthy. And I hope to catch you at another stream or on a video. Bye everyone. End stream.